Hello everyone, welcome back to Nongkrong Critical or Not Crit. I'm your host Mutia, and as always across the table is my favorite thinking partner is Maya. Hello Maya, what are you doing today?
Hi Mutia and hello non-crit listeners, I'm good. A bit stressed thinking about life, but so far so good. How about you?
I'm okay, but honestly, I've been a bit worried lately. For the past few days on my social media timeline, it's just young people venting. Some just graduate from college and send 200 job applications, but got nothing. Others are stressed because the job requirements say minimum 5 years of experience, even though they are only 22. Crazy, right? That's why today I want to talk about a very hot topic, young unemployment.
Wow, this is a very interesting but sad topic Mutia. We often hear that Indonesia will get a demographic bonus in the 2030, where we will have a lot of productive age people. But the question is, will this be a bonus or a burden if the most of young people are unemployed?
Exactly. People call us the golden generation, but the reality feels more like an anxious generation. Do you have any data or thought on why it's so hard for young people, even college graduates, to find a job today?
If we look at it from a social economic view, there is a big gap between education and the job market. To put it simple, what schools and university teach is often not what company needs today. Industries move very fast because of technology, while school curriculum take years to change.
I totally agree. And then there's degree inflation. In the past, a high school diploma was enough to get a decent office job. Now, even for an entry-level staff position, you need a bachelor degree, a high GPA, and you have to speak multiple languages. But the salary, just minimum wage.
Exactly. Looking for fresh graduate, maximum age 23, with 3 years of experience. Did they start interning in the middle school or what? But besides that, there are structural factors too. Most job create now are in the informal sector or the gig economy, like online driver, courier, or freelance. Stable job in big office with health insurance are shrinking.
I agree about the gig economy, Maya. But if we go back a little bit before people look for jobs, there is a classic problem, wrong major. Many young people just pick any major in college and after they graduate, they get confused about how to use that knowledge for work.
According to research, about 87% of students feel they chose the wrong major. This is a huge economic waste. Parents invest a lot of money for college, students spend 4 years, but after graduation, their skills do not match to the job market. In the end, it just increased the number of unemployed graduates.
Right, and economically, I heard that if many young people are unemployed, our country can get stuck in the middle income trap. Can you explain that in a simple way?
Okay, simple put, middle income trap is a condition where a country successfully escapes poverty but cannot become a rich or developed country. It gets stuck in the middle class. Why? Because the young people who should be the engine of economic growth are not productive because they are unemployed. We don't have innovation, so we just buy product from other countries.
Wow, that is scary. So, if we are just proud of having many young people without preparing the jobs, it's like having a cool sport car but no gasoline. It breaks down on the road.
Ah, great analogy, Mutia. And if the car breaks down for too long, the engine gets rusty. Same like young people. If they are unemployed for too long, their spirit and skill get rusty too. And this triggers a new problem.
Now, beside internal problems like choosing the wrong major, there is another new enemy for young people today. It comes from the text word Maya. What else could it be but AI?
Oh, this one! This is the hot topic in the world right now. Many fresh graduates feel stressed even before applying for a job. Why? Because they see AI like ChatGPT, Midjourney, or Gemini doing human work in just seconds.
Seriously, imagine my friend studied graphic design. After graduation, he got a headache because many companies now choose to use AI generators to make visual instead of paying entry-level designer. Crazy, right? Not to mention jobs like content writers, data entry, and customer service that are being replaced by bots.
In economic, this is called technological unemployment. This is different from a normal economic crisis. In a normal crisis, when the economy gets better, the job will come back. But with tech disruption, once a job is replaced by a machine, it disappears forever.
Wow, hearing that makes me shiver, Maya. So, is our future getting darker? Why should we study hard in college in our future jobs will be taken by robots?
Wait, don't be too pessimistic yet. Actually, AI doesn't completely destroy jobs. Economic history shows that since the first industrial revolution, when steam engines were invented, technology destroyed old jobs, but at the same time, it creates new jobs that never existed before.
Oh yeah? Like what example today?
Years ago, we didn't have a job like AI prompt engineer, data scientist, social media specialist, or CEO of Amazon, right? So the main problem is not AI itself. The real challenge is, are young people ready to quickly change direction and learn these new skills? The problem is our schools usually don't teach this stuff.
That makes sense. So, the quote is true. You will not be replaced by AI, but you will be replaced by someone who knows how to use AI, right?
Exactly, 100% correct, Mutia. That's why if young people don't adapt, technology will just make youth unemployed worse.
The tax pressure is crazy, and that leads to the next problem, which is the impact on mental health because the situation looks so scary. Unemployment isn't just about having no money, right, Maya? It affects everything.
Absolutely, Mutia. The closest impact is on mental health. Young people who are unemployed for a long time are prone to depression and feeling useless. Plus, there is a social pressure from family or neighbors. Your friend is already working at the big company. What about you? That's a scary question during family gatherings.
Oh god, that reminds me. Not to mention the risks of bad habits like online gambling or online scams. When people have no income but still need to buy things, they often look for dangerous shortcuts.
True. And if many young people are unemployed, people will spend less money. When spending drops, the country's economy slows down. So it becomes a bad cycle that keeps spinning if we don't fix it.
Exactly, Maya. And because finding a good job is harder and the gap is wider, I see a very strange economic behavior among young people today. There is a term called doom spending. Have you heard about it?
Oh yes, this is trending in the news. It's a condition where young people feel their future is dark, like they will never be able to buy a house or land because prices are crazy. In the end, they just spend their money on short-term happiness, buying expensive coffee every day, going to concert, or traveling constantly.
Yes, that's the one. Their logic is instead of saving money but still failing to buy a house, I should just use the money to be happy right now. But the problem is if their savings are gone, but they still want to keep up with that lifestyle, where do they go? To pay later apps or online loans?
Wow, online loans are a national emergency for young people right now, Mutia. Data shows that the biggest user of these loan apps come from the productive age, including college students and fresh graduates. They get trapped in the debt just for lifestyle or worse, just to survive because they don't have a job yet.
It's really scary. I read a post online about a fresh graduate whose credit score was completely ruined because he failed to pay his pay later bills. The economic effect? When a good company wanted to hire him later, he was rejected because of his bad credit history. That's a double fail.
Exactly. Many companies today check the financial history of job applicants for a certain position. So, unemployment makes them stressed, and then stress trigger doom spending using online loans, and then once ruin their credit score, and then a bad credit score makes it harder to get a job. This is a real vicious cycle for Gen Z today.
The problem gets deeper the more we talk about it. So, what is the solution? We often hear motivators say, if there are no jobs, create your own business. Become an entrepreneur. In your opinion, is that a fine solution?
I think that solution simplifies a very big problems. Not everyone has the talent, the mindset, or most importantly, the money to start a business. If they borrow money from unsafe apps with high interest, it just creates a new problem.
True, bravery alone cannot pay the rent, bro. So, what kind of help do we actually need?
First, the government needs to provide free and useful job training. For example, focusing on digital skills like coding, data analysis, or video editing that companies are looking for. The second is companies should get rewards if they open good internship programs where students actually learn real skills.
And from our side as young people, we have to adapt. We need portfolio-based skills. Show people what you can make, not just where you graduate from. Wow, time flies. We have been talking for almost 10 minutes, and this conversation has been great. The point is for all the non-grad listeners who are struggling to find a job right now, you are not alone. The economy is the right now, so don't be too hard on yourself.
Yes, keep practicing your skills, make new friends, and don't be ashamed to start small. Any experience can be a stepping stone for your future.
Alright, thank you so much Maya for fun talk today, and thank you for to everyone listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe the Nongkrong Critical Podcast. See you in the next episode. I'm Mutia.
And I'm Maya. Stay critical, stay realistic, and bye!